Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we're going to be playing Buzz Aldrin's Space Program Manager. We are in quarter two of 1965. We've got the first man in space. We've also got the first lunar impactor, as well as the first lunar orbiter. We are leading the space race. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what else to say about that. We have lagged a little bit on the whole two men in space thing. We're lacking a little bit in terms of how many astronauts we have. I'm currently upgrading that so we can get more astronauts out here. We've got several astronauts in basic training. And yeah, so that's where we are. I think I'm going to go ahead and the first thing I'm going to do here is hire a few more flight controllers. I don't know if I have a spot for them all, but what we can do is we can train them up so they're ready for some other roles once we have some spots open for them. So we'll go ahead and find just anyone basically who's rated somewhat decently somewhere. And yeah, we can have 4 more guys. So that's going to be our max. Oh, wait a minute. Wait, I don't know. I didn't realize, I think. No, actually, that is our max. Sorry about that. Looks like we can also have 4 more scientists, so might as well do that as well. I've got so much. I thought I could. Oh, I've already hired some apparently. I feel like I've got several scientists who are. Or I've gotten quite a bit of money out of our scientists here. I'm trying to remember what we're all researching. We got the Vostok booster open, the Luna booster. We're researching the Melina booster and the Soyuz booster, as well as the Proton K booster rocket. So we're doing all that. We've also got several programs open. We're working on the Voskhod program. It's basically going to be a 2-man space capsule, the biosatellite, and the Mars spacecraft. So we've got all of that going. And yeah, I think we might want to do, what we might want to do is work on another Vostok launch. We had a successful uncrewed suborbital and uncrewed orbital, or no, uncrewed suborbital and successful suborbital flight with a crew. We have not done an uncrewed orbital flight yet, or we failed at one last time. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll schedule another one of those missions. We'll go ahead and assemble it now, get all the appropriate people in place, and go from there. You can see our various spacecraft people are getting up pretty high in terms of experience. Not everywhere, procedures still kind of low, AFD kind of low, flight kind of low, but still pretty high levels of reliability all the way around. We don't have enough flight controllers for another manned flight with this launch. I don't think we've got any scientists though. That's kind of the problem, is we don't really have any probes really that we want to launch. The orbital flights, yeah, nothing there. 2 crew. Yeah, I don't really. Are we working on a Soyuz capsule? I don't think we are. What about the biosatellite? I thought I saw something about that. What the heck are we researching? Do we already do the Zond biosatellite? 1 moment, please. Manage programs. We're working on the Zond 5 biosatellite Sukhum. Oh, it's a lunar flight. Oh, and it consists of a Soyuz 7KL-1 spacecraft. Huh. Go figure. Does that mean we're researching the Soyuz 1K capsule? 2 crew ballistic capsule, Soyuz 1LK. Yeah, we'll go ahead and open that flight. All right. We can use, wow, that's interesting. We can use a Sputnik booster on it? Huh. The lunar booster and the Vostok booster. As well as the Melina, because it's uncrewed, I guess. We'll put it on the Soyuz booster, just because that's the booster we're currently working on. And we're already, oh, we aren't researching the capsule. Well, we don't have any scientists to do it. But the Zond uses the same capsule, interestingly enough. Crewed spacecraft. Who do I want to pick? Yeah, we'll do him. Yep, we'll do that. So the current reliability starts at 75%, which is pretty darn nice. I don't know why I opened the 7KL-1 spacecraft. I mean, the Soyuz is going to probably be what we want to go to the moon with, maybe? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. That may have been a waste. Anyway, we'll go ahead and jump ahead to the next turn. And, yeah, so we're researching the Molina booster, almost up to 90%. The Zond 5 is almost up to 85. The Mars probe is getting up there as well. The Soyuz boosters we probably don't need to be researching it much anymore. It's kind of past the point where we can really make any progress. And we've got a uncrewed suborbital or uncrewed orbital flight of the Voskhod, however you pronounce it, the two-man, basically, Voskhod program. So we're going to go ahead and get ready for this launch, and I'm going to have a drink of... I'd like to say it's vodka, but that would be lying. I'm going to have a drink of whiskey. So I feel like playing Russia, I should be drinking vodka while playing this. I know that's a horrible stereotype, but it'd be really fun to do like a live stream. Just get plastered and drink vodka. Anyway, we'll go ahead and prepare our launch steps, and let's see what happens. It's really amazing to me that a variant of the Soyuz rocket is still being used today. But you got to hand it to the Russian rockets. I mean, they were really incredibly modular, and really that was the huge advantage in the early days, was basically one rocket built upon the other, where the American, Redstone program, the Mercury, and the Atlas program were two totally different unrelated rockets in that first human spaceflight program. Then the Titan II was totally unrelated to that, and the Saturn V was totally unrelated to that. There was a Saturn family of rocket boosters, and the Titan was based off an ICBM, but there was a lot more separation between rocket designs in the U.S. than in Russia, which everything was pretty much based off another rocket, at least until you get to the Proton stage. And I wonder if that's not part of the problem that the Russians had when it came to trying to get to the moon, is the Americans had so many different rocket options. I mean, theoretically, they could have even used a Gemini capsule. But the Americans had so many different options. They had plenty of experience with going from new rocket to new rocket, whereas the Soviets were basically, the idea of going to N1 was completely new and unique to their space program compared to pretty much all of their experience before that. So I wonder if that wasn't a hindrance to their program, in that they, really didn't have a whole lot of experience moving from one program to another. It's hard to say. But anyway, so we got our unmanned successful flight there, the Voskhod whatever program. And I think next turn what we'll do is we'll go ahead and launch a crewed two-man spacecraft into orbit. The U.S. hasn't done anything here. And yes, so success. We've also got some set personnel who have graduated from basic training and are unassigned. So I wonder if we might want to open up a new program. I don't think we can open up the rocket program I want. We're still building that newer... Yeah, I'm going to open up the N1 booster here very shortly, but we're still working on the actual launch complex. If we want to go to the moon, it's basically either the N1 booster or the UR-700 booster. I don't know much about the UR-700. It looks like some kind of Soyuz or Proton rocket with a bunch of solid rocket boosters strapped to the outside. It's got much larger payload capacity than anything else, although not dramatically more than the N1. So I think we'll go with the N1 for humans, or for historical accuracy sake. Meanwhile, our programs, we've got several that we're currently working on. So we've got several scientists. I think we'll go ahead and get those guys assigned. I really don't know why I went with the Soyuz capsule. It might be able... Maybe it's a moon capsule. I'm not sure. Let's take a look here real quick. Let's go to Manage Rocket Program. Whoops. I'm clicking on all the wrong buttons. I didn't... I'm clicking on all the wrong buttons, and I'm not drinking, I swear. Soyuz 7-0K is a 3-person spacecraft. Well, what the heck? I could probably go to the moon with 2, though, to be honest. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and launch our first, clicking all the wrong buttons. We're going to go ahead and launch our first Voskhod Programme rocket with, not our first, but our first orbital flight with a crew in it. So go ahead and do that. We're going to launch it with, well, we could do it with the, let's see, this has a max reliability of 94%. Oh, that's current reliability. It's not even open yet. I'm stupid. Okay, so we'll go with the Soyuz. we'll select that rocket. It's at 91% reliability. Even better for the capsule. So we'll go ahead and assign it now, or assemble it now. We'll get kind of our A team on this thing to get all the best crew that we can. And we'll see here. We've got pretty darn good crew behind this thing. Again, when you get kind of toward the bottom, things start petering out. Flight is probably not well served to be 54%. So what if we do that? 72% for him? But then propulsion only gets 64. Shoot. What if we do this? No, still only 64. Does anybody else who's not all that great at anything else? There we go. Propulsion 94. Okay. All right. So I don't know if lowering the quality of some of our other guys was a wise move. I guess we'll find out here. But 72%, I feel like having a high-quality flight controller is really important. And then we're going to have our best astronaut as our lead cosmonaut, and our pilot is our second best. Although, actually, wait a minute. Let's see who's the best actual pilot. Yeah, this guy's the best. The cosmonaut will be him. So we're going to get a two-man spacecraft going here. 61% for the cosmonaut, 80% for the pilot. I have to imagine the pilot would be the more important. We'll confirm those assignments, and we're going to lose $7,900 for that. We have 7 more flight controllers, so we might be able to launch one more mission. I know I was getting some comments and feedback from some of my viewers saying I need to do more than one mission, so we'll go ahead and see about doing that. Let's see here. We'll drop back to... I don't know if I want to do our Mars mission yet, but we could do our... the circumlunar, the LK1 for the circumlunar is going to be a good bet. All right, cool. So researching that capsule makes sense. Now, as far as the Zond capsule, the biosatellite lunar flyby, that one's up to 80% reliability. We can go ahead and assemble a flight here. We don't have a whole lot of reliable guys here, but it's going to experience. It's unmanned. The prestige hit is minimal, and at least it'll give us some experience launching the Proton rocket, which is the only rocket that we have that can get to the moon right now. So we'll go ahead and do that. It'll also give us some practice with the capsule and get the overall reliability is over 80% anyway. So there we go. We've got 2 rockets ready to fire. We're still building the bigger capsule here, so we don't really have anything else we can do with that. We've got some other astronauts coming up, but they're going through training right now. We have one astronaut who is available, so why don't we go ahead and give him advanced training. He's decent at leadership, piloting, EVA, science, fitness, so the worst skill he has is leadership, which also always seems to be pretty important when we look at assigning new cosmonauts, so we'll do that. And we'll go ahead and I think we're good to go. Oh, no, I haven't assigned any of these scientists yet, so I should probably assign those to our various programs, which we currently have underway. I think our rocket programs are all kind of maxed out, and they do appear to be. I'm going to drop the Voskhod booster program. I don't think we need it for anything else, so we'll go ahead and do that. Keep the Luna open for now, and go ahead and assign some of these guys to... I don't think we've got much more that we need to do for the Voskhod space capsules at 96%, so that's pretty much maxed out. But we want to get some more research done on some of these other programs here, and we've got some scientists available. So the Zond the Zond capsule, we've got... Oh, that's already maxed out. Although I probably should go back in there. Why don't we drop these guys off? Because I don't know, the guys I just hired might have better replacements. So since we're using the Proton this one, we'll go ahead and just make sure we've got the best possible scientists assigned, since we have some new ones. Some of them might be better at these particular programs to get the most out of our research as possible. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll restructure that way, and then we'll go back and check the other programs to see if there's any spots. I don't want to open up a whole new program, though, quite yet. Not this turn, anyway. So we're going to be using a lot of the Proton rocket, which is actually a successful rocket. Even to today, it's still used a lot for commercial satellite launches. So that's another one of those Russian programs that's really stood the test of time in being used quite extensively, again, even to the current day, for various programs. I know we have 2 scientists left. I just don't know what I want to open up. What other program? I don't want to just open something up, and we're going to be opening up a new rocket program next turn. So I know I'm wasting those 2 scientists this one turn, but we're just going to deal with it. And we're going to go ahead and jump ahead here. So you can see we're making a little bit further progress on the Molino. We're going to have a whole bunch of scientists free after we do that. We're also making some progress on the Zond. Mars is speeding up a bit. Soyuz is kind of in that slow, we're not making any progress stage. And yeah, some other progress with these other programs. So the first flight we're going to watch here is the orbital flight, the manned flight, the most important flight. We will lose 3,800 prestige if we fail, which is a pretty darn big hit. We'll gain 3,100 if we succeed. We've got a 94% component reliability. I think the biggest thing that people don't really talk about with this game, and I've seen quite a few people complain about reliability, is those are the system reliabilities, but human error is still a factor in this game, and that's where your ground control comes in and why it's so important to have very high quality individuals there. But we'll see here we're counting down. All right, so we're on the countdown. Chance of success, 79% to fix it. And there we go, we fixed it. So going to continue on to the next component. We've made it through 2 stages. We're into the launch phase. So now things get deadly if there's a failure from here. I'm a big fan of all of these launch animations. They do get a little bit repetitive, I guess, but in general, it's really well done animations for this. Every time I see the Soyuz break apart like that and this little tiny capsule flying into orbit, though, I keep thinking it's an ICBM, you know, just crashing to Earth. A game like this would be interesting as far as building up like Cold War weapons. All right, that was quickly fixed. 83% chance of success, and it was quickly fixed. So that was good. We're into the retro fire stage. I think it's interesting the Russians decided to have like a circular capsule. That had to be disorienting when you were coming back into Earth like that. I wonder if you fail in the recovery stage, does your astronaut just like wither away and die? Does he starve out in the wilderness of Siberia or something? Anyway, successful launch, 2-manned orbited spaceflight. So success there. Big upgrade for the Soyuz capsule as well as for the Voskhod space program. We're going to move on here to our second mission, which is the Zond 5 biosatellite. A lot lower reliability, a lot lower quality for our mission control. So we'll see how this gamble pays off. Not too much of a hit if we fail, and no one dies. So preparing the mission, a brand new mission type. Still using the Soyuz capsule, though, so that last success... Oh, wait, no, we're not. We're using the Proton. I'm stupid. This is going to be the first launch of the Proton K rocket, which, as I said, ended up turning into a successful commercial satellite as well. Launcher. Still used to this day, I believe. The Russians are actually developing an alternative and a follow-on rocket to basically replace the Proton, as well as the Soyuz also. I forget the name of it, though. It's like Agina or something like that. So you can see those boosters along the outside, and then the second stage here. The Proton looks more traditional from a Western standpoint, if we're comparing it to kind of the, almost the, not asparagus, that's kind of like more like Kerbal designs, but the stack design for rockets that we see a lot today for, even back then for rockets. So you can see there it's moving on to translunar injection. Success. The Soyuz capsule is coming apart. The biosatellite. It's now transiting to the moon. That was a success. It's conducting the moon flyby now. Stage 8 of a 11-stage journey. It's now returning to Earth with some rockets, with rocks that are aliens that are going to kill us all. Only a 50% chance of being fixed here. We'll see if it succeeds in reentry if it burns up. All right, so fixed the problem. That was a little bit lucky. That was a coin flip. So into descent. And a success. Wow, I was not expecting that, but I will take that as it brings back certain doom, zombie plague, and all of that to Earth. So Bioscience Experiment Level 1 and Zond 5 Lunar Biosatellite Flyby. All right. Upgrade of the Zond 5 mission. Also, the Proton K booster gets a pretty hefty upgrade, so that was a gamble well paid off. So the opposing faction has now completed a joint manned launch, which we did quite a while ago. And there we go. 2 successful missions. Quite a lot of prestige coming our way. We're just blowing by this next prestige limit. The max prestige that we need is 26,000. We're at 38,000. So we're definitely on pace to get that max budget, which is going to be very useful. We've got quite a cash flow here. We got 15,000 positive cash as well as over 100,000 cash in the bank. Granted, we are playing on the easiest difficulty, so let's not get too excited about ourselves here. I don't know. Can I hire more astronauts? Yeah, I can hire up to 14. I can't do it for the rest of the year, though. I want to hire a whole bunch more. So we've got a whole bunch waiting for our lunar program because I think that's something we could use some work on. Yeah, so that was a successful turn all around. We're going to go ahead and I think we're going to do another Voskhod program if we have the astronauts. I'm not sure if we do. Looks like we do. So let's go ahead and, what do we want to do? Maybe we should do flight first. I feel like that's the most important position. Then we can do booster and everything else. And again, it's really nice to see, why is a surgeon not needed for this? What am I doing? What mission was I selecting? Why was I choosing uncrewed suborbital flight? What am I, stupid? Okay, so we've done uncrewed, we've done suborbital, we've done uncrewed orbital, and we've done orbital flight. So now we're getting into the duration missions. So these missions are where fitness really comes into play. I don't know if we have enough astronauts here. Nope, we don't have enough cosmonauts here to do this because our other cosmonauts are resting after the last mission. So, do we have any other lunar missions we can do? We could do the circumlunar. I think that might be our next program, is the circumlunar, whatever that is. Oh wait, no, that would have to have a human on board, wouldn't it? Luna 2 impactor. Oh, we've already done that too. Okay. So we've done the Zond 5, we've done the Lunar 2 impactor, we've done all of these. The only one we have left is the Luna 15, and we don't have any research going on this this particular program, do we? No, we don't. We don't have any available scientists this turn either, do we? No, we don't. Okay, what do I do? All right, we could go to Mars with a Mars probe. I think the Russians were also amongst the first to conduct a interplanetary probe. So why don't we go ahead and do that? And we can have our A-team on this one because we don't have anything else going on. So we'll go ahead and do that. We'll wait one more turn. Looks like we have 2 scientists who are available. So we should probably open up that lunar lander probe so we can get to work on lunar probes. LK700 direct descent. That would have to be from the UR700, wouldn't it? So we're probably going to have to go with this route instead of the direct descent. Let's see. What am I'm looking for that. I'm looking for lunar probes. There we are. The Luna 15, we'll go ahead and open up that program. And we'll have to rely on the Proton K. Component R&D, and we'll get some guys on the Luna 15. So we've already got a 70% reliability on that thing, though, so it's nice to have that jump back there. And we'll just go ahead, and our other astronauts are just kind of resting, so we'll just have to let this turn go into Q4 of 1965. Continued reliability or work on the Molina. These on 5. I don't know why I'm working on the Molina. I don't know if I have any more flights that need it. So I might need to reevaluate my programs here and cut down on some stuff that might not be necessary. I really don't need guys working on the Soyuz anymore at 95% reliability. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. We'll get 7,800 prestige if it's success, only negative 800 if it fails. So we'll go ahead and monitor this. The mission components are a little bit lower, but we've got the absolute best guys on the actual flight. So there we go. Second launch of the Proton K rocket, by the way. God, that thing just looks pretty. I'm a big fan of the Proton. That just looks awesome. Looks like a nice rocket. Reminds me kind of like the Saturn series, except maybe a little bit more sleek. Obviously, it looks very different, just kind of the general design compared to the other Russian designs. It just looks prettier to me. Gotta love that atmosphere that the audio recordings give you as well. I wonder if the game simulates the 6-month flight time to Mars. Looks like it does, because it doesn't have anything more than level 7. Earth-Mars transit. Success. So it's a 3-season mission, so that does, again, take into effect that long-term journey to Mars. So far, everything's successful, so that's good to see. Upgrade of the Mars probe, which is good, because we'll probably need that on the future rounds, and also nice to see the Proton rocket getting some hefty upgrades. The other side has done the orbiting frog Othalath, or whatever the heck. That's basically their biosatellite, so they're still behind us. We got some astronauts to graduate from advanced training, and yeah, so the vehicle assembly building has also finished upgrading. So before we go ahead and wrap this video up, why don't we go ahead and tidy up our rocket programs here. I'm not sure we need the Luna booster anymore, just because if we need any unmanned probes, we can use the Proton K, which is a much better rocket. So we're going to go ahead and end that program. We're also going to take the Molina rocket, which I'm not sure if we still need, but it has pretty much the max R&D reliability at 88%. So we're going to go ahead and pull the scientists off this program. The Soyuz is also more or less at the max as well, so we're going to pull our researchers off of that program. The Proton is also at the max as far as what can be researched, so we're not going to add anyone there. But what we are going to do is we're going to open up that historic, massive lunar program, the N1 booster. We'll go ahead and open that up. The current reliability on that is 3%, so it starts very low. We probably should have been researching that a while ago. Oh, wait, no, it said 75%. I'm confused. It said 3 before. Anyway, I don't know if that's just because I'm playing on easy or what, but 75%, yay! That makes things easy to work up from. And so we're getting that rocket going. We also need to go ahead and manage these programs. The Zond 5 is already done, so we can close that. The other programs we need to keep open. But what we're also going to do is we're going to go ahead and... what do we do here? Do we open up the Soyuz 7K? Do we do it? Do we do it? I don't know. We'll go ahead and open up the Lunar Short Duration Expeditions. The Circumlunar Soyuz uses the Soyuz 7 LK1, which we're currently already researching, so that makes that easy. It's also unmanned, so we can use a Proton K if we want. Apparently there's a version of the Proton which is human rated as well, but I think what we'll do for that particular flight, we're going to use the N1 booster just so we can test it before we put a human on board, because we don't want to just launch the damn thing and have it blow up like it did historically and not have anyone on it. So we've already got all the scientists we need for that, researching that. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to open up the L3 Soyuz LK Lunar Landing Program. We're not going to go with the LK700 direct descent. That would require us going with the UR700 booster, I believe. Rather, we're going to go with the lunar landing, this particular program. Go ahead and open it up. and get some scientists assigned to this bad boy. We're going to select the N1 rocket and R&D components. We need to go ahead and R&D the 7KL0K spacecraft. It's a 3-person spacecraft. So we're getting those components underway. We're also going to go ahead and I believe we need to get the lunar landing. We need the lunar module. Oh, we need EVA suits too. Good Lord. We've got a lot we need to R&D. I should have been on this a while ago. So, EVA suit. Let's get some people working on that because we're going to need that before everything else. So that takes priority. Then, as you can see, all of these extra components certainly take some time and effort to research. So we're going to be researching the LK lunar lander and then also the Igaila automated docking system. This starts at a much lower reliability because we have no experience with this, as you can see. Everything else kind of starts pretty high, but we're still a ways away. We should just get researching on it. So we've got all our scientists assigned, and we've kind of got our course set as far as that's concerned. We're going to go ahead and do schedule one more mission. We've got the Mars probe currently in transit, but I want to go ahead and continue working on the Voskhod program. So we're going to see if we can do the duration level 2 or level 1. We've already done a duration level 1, but not with the Voskhod program. So we're going to go ahead and schedule this mission and assemble it now. We'll go ahead and get the flight director as our highest rated guy. Oh, really? Oh, that's because we have that other flight underway. Oh, lame. I don't know. I think we can No, I just want to go back. All right. So let's go to our new super large space program. Oh, missions in progress. That's what I want to do. Can I manage the flight controllers? No, I can't adjust the flight controllers? Lame. Well, I don't want to... we're going to scrub that mission because I don't want to send... Well, let's see. I don't know if I want to send our best guys up without our best crews. I mean, just look at these guys. Their ratings are much lower. Seems kind of like a risk to put humans in space like this. I guess sending humans in space is pretty risky to begin with. Why don't we... I don't know who our best booster guy is that we don't have assigned anywhere. Alright, I guess we'll just have to go with this. I'm going to take a risk with 2 astronauts. I hope we don't blow them up. Make our best pilot here. And leadership. So these guys, I think, were the first ones on the first Voskhod program or whatever it's called. But anyway, so this is going to be our last flight of this particular video. But we'll go ahead and get this up and running. We've got 2 flights. We've got 1 in progress, and we've got 1 that's going to be taking off. So we're still making further research progress on the Mars 69, even though it's in space. So good to see that. Our Soyuz 7K is making some progress. Luna 15 is slowly but surely coming along. The N1 booster, look at that behemoth. We can talk about that a little bit more later. But good to see that program started. Our lunar spacecraft is also being researched, so just a ton of research going on here, as well as now getting to work on EVA suits, which we will need hopefully before too long. Now, our Mars probe, it gets a ton of prestige if it succeeds. I'm going to see if I can reassign these guys. I want to see if I can do that. Let's see if we can do this. Can we do this? I don't know if we should really be... Yeah, we don't have... All right, so we're going to take a risk. We're lowering the quality of our guys here, but basically because I want to make sure that we can have the absolute best quality guys with our human astronauts, I don't want to lose anyone dead. So I'll go ahead and monitor this one from orbit. It looks like it's going to come toward Mars and orbit Mars. So you can see here it's in the Earth-Mars transit phase, and it quickly runs into a problem. Please don't fail. Oh, no. I don't know if that's because I switched the people or just because I sent up a not terribly reliable spacecraft. So we lose some prestige there, no big deal, not much. And we gain some experience, so that's good. Although downgrade for the actual equipment is not very good. But we now have some actual astronauts who we need to make sure that we... oh, and I can't even reassign the crew? All right, well, let's hope we don't have a double failure here and have an absolute disaster and lose some actual astronauts who are far more valuable. Especially right now, because I don't have a ton of experienced astronauts, and these are two of my most experienced. I got my most experienced as the Capcom, which is like the astronaut who's in charge of helping out the space flight from the ground. And then my two other most experienced guys are actually in the capsules. So two of my three most experienced astronauts, I think two of the three guys who have actually made it to space are on this particular launch. Uh-oh. Oh, whew. System's normal. You know, one thing I just noticed, the Russian spacecraft don't have any kind of capsule along the top that would yank away the human capsule if there was a problem with the rocket where it would explode. I know the Apollo program famously had a tower along the top that would yank it off the rocket and basically pull it away from any kind of possible explosion or devastation there. I wonder how successful that would be, because when the N1 exploded, it was like a small nuclear explosion in terms of how powerful it was. So if the Saturn V really went up, I doubt it would be powerful enough to save him, but who knows? And I don't see anything like that on the Russians, so I wonder what their escape plan was, if they even had one. That's one criticism that came up of the space shuttle program, is there was no way to get the astronauts away from the actual vehicle in the case of a failure. Some people claim it might have saved the astronauts' lives in the case of like the Challenger explosion, where the astronauts actually survived the explosion by all means, and died when the spacecraft ended up hitting the ocean after falling for 2 minutes. Anyway, successful flight there. So we gained 1900 prestige, more than offset the loss that the failure gave us, and we also did our duration 1 for the Voskhod program, further upgrades for the Soyuz booster, and so all in all, a good thing. We did lose 5,000 from some kind of mismanagement, bad random event, but we've got so much money. Whoa. Is that 50,000? Oh, it's just 5,000. Where did all the money go? We had over 100,000. Oh, I opened a whole bunch of programs, didn't I? That's probably where the money went. Anyway, so successful space flight. We are still on the road to victory, and all things look good. All things look go. It is 1966. We're perfecting our 2-man space programs. It won't be long till we've got our 3-man space programs up, and from there, it's only a short time till the moon. The planetary probe had a minor setback, but to be honest, who cares if we go to Mars? I don't. I just want to get to the moon. But, today I want to go to Mars. That'd be so freaking cool. I really want the U.S. to go to Mars, or anyone really, but being a little bit of a nationalist, I wouldn't mind us going to Mars. I think that'd be really cool. I think we should be really doing it. I think we should be funding NASA more than we are. I think there's a ton of benefits that come out of funding a large and robust space program. But that's a topic for another day. Anyway, I appreciate you tuning in to this episode 5 of Buzz Aldrin Space Program Manager Let's Play from me, the Historical Gamer. Until next time, again, I appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I hope you have a great day. Bye now.